Hi, what's going on, people? It's Steven here, back again, and welcome to episode 2 of Little Milo Talks. So, if you've not listened to episode 1, go out and check that video now. Kind of talks about like me, my beginnings, how I got started before I even started Little Milo Books, essentially. So, yeah, just check that one out and then come back to this one. But yeah, in that one, I kind of got to a point where, you know, I was on the journey to starting Little Milo Books, or as what it was before Santana as well. So I think, yeah, let me just I'm gonna get into it. So I think pretty much, you know, as I mentioned in episode 1, got made redundant for the second time. You know, I'm just an unlucky guy when it comes to design jobs, as it were. You know, I was doing graphic design and whatever. So yeah, I was just got to a point and I was like, okay, now is the time for me to do what I want to do, essentially. So what I was doing was was creating characters, making stories, just drawing, just doing what I love to do, just draw, create, design. So yeah, I remember like I was just drawing and then just doing random character designs and stuff. And then I remember I drew like a little girl, with afro puffs, missing tooth, whatever. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. It's just one of the random character designs of the many character designs that I was doing at the time. You know, I'm not working in it, so I got free time on my hands, so I'm making the most of it. So then I think it was maybe 2-3 days later, I think I drew the character again. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, just trying to develop it a bit further. And then it's maybe a week later, I drew her again. And I was like, I feel like I'm starting to like this character here. So let me kind of try and develop further. So, you know, little girl, afro puffs, missing tooth, just, you know, cute little girl or whatever. So I've don't know. And then I think I called her, I think it's maybe after the third or maybe the fourth thing that I did with her, I called her Santana. And like the reason why I called her Santana, there's no real like reason behind it. I just like the name. I just think Santana is a cool name. So I called her Santana, and you know, Santana with the missing tooth, and that was it for like a period of time. But then I thought, okay, let me focus on this character. So yeah, I focused on the character. I just started drawing more and more. And then I remember I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a story. I want to write like a children's book. And at the time, you know, I read and I read so much, and but I had no idea of how I was even going to do this. I had no clue whatsoever. So you know, I've started doing bits of research. I've started buying, you know, like books that are out there, like looking at current books, seeing kind of like illustration styles, trends, things like that. So while I'm doing all this, like, because at this point, like, I've set out to do it, and like, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to write a children's book based around this character. Like, I don't have a story right now, but that was the goal. Like, while I wasn't working, I said, I maybe done it and whatever. That was the goal. So started like coming up with small ideas and things, little things here and there, like based around the story. But at the moment, it was just Santana with the missing tooth. And then I remember one of my friends had messaged me and said there was an event in London based around the importance of like black dolls, you know, like for representation between that. Because going to the event, like, I can get into it and whatever, but one of the things I remember someone saying at the event was like, you know, their kid had like a white Barbie doll, and obviously probably the majority of her friends are predominantly white. And then obviously she's come back home like one day and said, you know what, I don't like my hair, I want to be blonde like everybody else. And obviously as a parent, like, that kind of hurt her, like, obviously deeply, because, you know, you don't want your child to be feeling inadequate, and you know that they can't appreciate themselves for who they are, essentially. So that happened at the event. But anyway, I'm kind of like time skipping this story. But like at the time, like yeah, it was an event based around the importance of like black dolls for children, because again, it was like more about representation and, you know, being reflective of our actual like societies, and, you know, not giving children like a skewed perspective of who they are and their place in society, essentially, which obviously, you know, representation and diversity is like obviously still prevalent now, but at that time is like a thing where, you know, they just needed more, because, you know, we're being fed these things, and, you know, we have these stuff in society and all the rest of it, and kids aren't being given a chance to kind of have like an accurate representation of themselves with, like, you know, their books and their toys and whatever. So it was a book, it was an event based around the importance of black dolls, and like because it sounded interesting to me at the time, and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna come down because I want to see what this event is about, and like, you know, how it is. So before I went down though, I remember I was like, I have nothing to show, like, for me, like, for any reason to be there, but like I'm going because I want to go there. But then I thought, you know what, it's an opportunity for me as well, because I've probably gone to other events before, but this was like probably the first event of that kind that I went to. So I've made some postcards, like some preview postcards. So it's like, santanasworld.com coming soon. So, you know, I've gone out and got the website and whatever, got the domain, blah blah blah. And then on the back of it was like, had a little picture of Santana. It's like, hi, my name's Santana, something. My storybook's coming soon, etc, etc. Because I thought, you know, it's an opportunity to kind of at least put things in motion while I'm down there. But at this point, the story's not solidified. I don't know anything else. It's just Santana with a missing tooth, but the story's not solidified at this point. But I thought, if I can just put the feelers out and just get people to kind of have awareness of the brand in the first place, like when it comes time and I'm ready for the book and I've got the book out, then they know, and they've already got the YouTube channel, they're already following me, whatever. They've already got the information they need. So I thought, let me do it. So I've gone to this event. It's a really good event. It's like completely different to what I expected, but it's really good. And like the amount of stuff that they had for the children there, and the amount of like dolls and things, and I met some great people there. At the time that, you know, I'm still like kind of friends with and that now, like, and stuff. So I've gone there. It's predominantly female, and obviously like kids, dolls, children, black Barbies, whatever. So I'm going around handing out these cards, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a designer, illustrator. I'm just coming up with a children's book soon. Here, take a look at the card, blah blah blah. So they're doing all of that, and I say the event's great, and then I speak to one woman, and like she's like, oh yeah, I've got an event in October. Would you like a store? Would you like a store there? And like at the time, I don't have anything to sell. But like you know, I take her contact details and whatever, and then, you know, after the event, jump on the train back home to Birmingham and that now. And then like I'm thinking like, because I think this was maybe June or July, maybe, when the event was, and her event was in October. So I'm like, okay. So I think I must have messaged and said, yeah, I'll get a store. So I paid for the store and whatever. But then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this book in like 3-4 months. There's no way I can write the book, create the characters, create the story, do all the illustrations, etc, all of that stuff. There's no way I can do all of that in like 3-4 months. So what am I going to do? Why have I got a stall at this event? But again, I'm just thinking, it's an opportunity to go to London and meet people and network, and down the line I will have these things that obviously we can talk about and whatever. So I'm like, okay, I've got a deadline here of October, so what can I do? And then I thought, like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a coloring book based around Santana, and do a coloring book based around Santana. So I was like, right, let's go. So doing a bit of research where I can get it printed this and the third. So like done a coloring book now, and what I wanted to kind of focus on was, I say, hearing the story of the little girl saying, I want my hair to be blonde and stuff like that. It kind of hurt me as well, to be fair, to hear that. So like, what I focused the coloring book on was, just different hairstyles and like just obviously it's kind of different ways of expressing yourself, like through your hair. And again, like hair was a big thing, natural hair, celebrating your identity and all the rest of it at the time. So what I did is did my research into like different hairstyles, so like pigtails, plaits, bantu knots, etc, etc. So like each page on the book, there's there's a double page spread. So like one page had like a hairstyle that they could color in, and the other page had like an activity, like a dot to dot, or spot the difference and things like that. So maybe I had 4 or 5 different hairstyles in the end. And yeah, so I've created the coloring book now. It's A4 in size. I can't think I've got any with me here, but yeah, so I've created the coloring book. And then with the coloring book, I've got like bookmarks, badges, stickers, all based around Santana's world. And it's like Santana's world, activating coloring book, story coming soon. So I've got all my products, got everything. I'm like, right, finally ready for this event. I've gone down to London, big old blue suitcase, carried all my stock and whatever. Gone down on my ones and that, like the solo mission. And then got to this event, and again, it was an amazing event. Like I met so many people there, like that were receptive to what I was doing, what I was trying to do. And it's funny because obviously me being a male, it's like there's like, oh, is Santana named after your daughter, or do you have kids? And like, no, she's not named after my daughter. I don't have kids. Because I think obviously the perception is because it was me creating like a female character, and I am the face of the brand, when they come and see me. Like, I think I was at the stand, and then someone must have come up to me and was like, oh, is this your brand? Are you like the creator, the illustrator? And I'm like, yeah. And then there was like shocked, because again, it's like, it was a coloring book with a like black girl on it, pink colors, blah blah blah. Probably at the time they didn't think like, I would be the kind of person to do something like that, but whatever in it. So created the book, met so many great people. Obviously there was like hair stands, there was like jewelry, there was other writers and things. And this is all new to me. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm just here on my ones, just trying to experience this thing in it. So, but it was great. And then from that event, someone else was running another set of events. Natural November, I think they were called. And like so then from that kind of birthed me going to like events, having stalls, selling my things. And like obviously I'm talking to these people and saying, the book's coming soon, etc, 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 etc. And I think that was kind of the start of Santana's world. And yeah, pretty much that was the start of Santana's world. And obviously I guess from there I'll wrap up this episode for now, but like the next episode will probably be more about obviously getting into the stories and creating the thinking behind creating the stories and things and like that. So but yeah, for now I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any comments below, any feedback, any questions, just put them in the comments. I'm thankful and appreciative of you guys watching. This is Steven signing off. I'll see you on the next one.